Welcome everyone to our presentation today on a career in land surveying. And we're wanted to kind of give you a broad overview about what a career in surveying looks like. And with us today on this presentation, myself, Trent Keenan, I'm a licensed land surveyor out of the state of Nevada and kind of here on the West Coast. We also have Tim Murphy and Linda Foster, and I'll let both of them introduce themselves real quick. But Linda, how about you? Where are you?
Sure, Trent. You bet, Trent. I'm from South Dakota, so I'm in the Midwest part of the United States area. Tim?
And I'm in the suburbs of Chicago and associated with the National Society of Professional Surveyors, who we're representing today for this presentation, and workforce development and outreach.
Good stuff. Glad to have you both here. So it's just kind of our talking points and our goals today. Hopefully you'll at least maybe understand that there is a career in land surveying. There is a career in, if you enjoy kind of the outdoors, you enjoy math, you enjoy history, you like problem solving, all of that kind of stuff. This career is definitely fitted for you. And we hope maybe at the end you'll reach out to either our national society, as he says, National Surveyors, and or your local state surveying association as well. So as you can see in the surveying profession, we have lots of different options, whether you want to be in the field and you can be a field surveyor, you enjoy office and computers and technology. There's a spot for you. I definitely enjoy the field side of things. I did for many years. And as I've progressed through my career, I've been kind of moved up through all the way through entrepreneurship. And I actually own my own business. And I'll kind of let Linda talk about her experiences through the profession as well.
Yes, thanks, Trent. I, as well, have always enjoyed the field aspect of land surveying, just being outdoors and experiencing nature, and then also knowing that I'm solving problems while I'm doing it. I also love the opposite aspect of land surveying because we can take all that information we gathered in the field, bring it inside and start processing and analyzing it. And that's where really the rubber meets the road. We get to start solving problems and doing some really interesting things and meaningful things with our work. Tim, how about you?
Yeah, and I'm right in the same boat. I spent probably about a decade working outside, and that's what drew me to the profession. Working outside, all kinds of conditions, and speaking for myself, I probably worked on some of the coldest and hottest days. And believe it or not, those are some of the most memorable days of my time. They're the extremes. You don't get them every day. There are lots of nice sunny days out that you get to enjoy outside. But majority of my career has been spent inside, working on solving problems, managing groups, and I work for a larger company. So we get exposed to a little bit of everything.
Yeah, nice. We also, through our profession and just the opportunities to work with different people throughout the country and even throughout the world, we've been able to kind of give back through our surveying profession to help kind of make the world a better place, right? And so through this effort, we love the kind of giving back and having that purpose in life over your ultimate, the ultimate paycheck that does the stuff. But I've been fortunate enough to have given back to Habitat Humanity over the years and providing all of our services for free for them to provide affordable housing for those in need. And so those are a couple of the good projects I've been able to work on. We give back to the Girl Scouts if they're of course all the Girl Scout camps, fortunately some of the Girl Scout camps own their own land, and so we've been help survey some of those as well. So any highlights that you've been able to give back on, either Tim or Linda?
We've done a lot of we work for non-for-profits. We do a lot of work for some of the charitable organizations, and it's either discounted work or free work, and the contractors do a lot of the same thing. So it kind of creates just an extra rewarding piece of the puzzle, if you will.
Yeah.
Lets you feel like you're part of something bigger. And our owners believe in it and have volunteered our time and covered the costs in that. And some of the pictures you're seeing there are an international group, and I've never been involved internationally, but there are international organizations that send surveyors out and groups out to all parts of the world.
Nice. Linda, do you got any kind of give back stories?
I absolutely. I would just add that, as you learn throughout our presentation, land surveying is really the foundation to a lot of things in our world. And there's a tremendous amount of opportunity, whether that's locally to give back to your local Habitat for Humanity, or whether that's internationally to work with groups like FIG and some of the other groups, or nationally. There's tons of opportunity, and it's very rewarding, not only to do the work and take home a paycheck to take care of your family, but also to know that you're helping other individuals in the world and in your own communities or across the globe, just with your trade and with your skills. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to give that back.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
One
it.
of the things we like to say in our profession is that everything in the world we put on maps, and everything on maps we put in the world. And
Yeah.
in a nutshell,
Yes.
that explains it all.
Absolutely. That's such a great point there, Tim. In my 27 years, I started in this profession when I was 19. And so just the evolution of being the technology that I've seen in 27 years is amazing. And I can imagine what some of the technologies we're going to see moving forward over the next 5 or 10 years. And so the graphic here just kind of shows how things, back in the, say, 70s and 80s, a lot of it was manual and measurements via kind of chains and tape measures and that kind of stuff, and how we've evolved from that to, say, the middle one where he's flying drones, and then we got Ben flying or using some of the latest technology in GPS. And then the last picture there is Ben with a nice mobile 3D scanner that he just kind of wears over his chest there, and so it's collecting 3D data in the front there and across his head. So the evolution in technology is one of probably the best parts of this profession, and the ever-changing technology that we use every day. So I enjoy that aspect of it. How about you, Linda?
This is absolutely a passion of mine. Any of you who know me know that this is right where I'm probably at my happiest. I love the new technologies that are constantly coming on the scene to really truly help us do what we've always done in our profession in a different way. Maybe it's better, maybe not, but it's enhancing everything that we do. And I think I can't wait to fast forward the clock 20 years and see what we're doing and how we're doing it. How we're applying it to what we've always done. It will look different. I'll guarantee it. So it's exciting for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely mind-boggling. I along with Trent, I kind of started back with tape measures and plumb bobs, the picture on the far left for street level measurements, and I've seen it all. And it's just mind-boggling how much the technology has driven our profession in the last 30 years. And even in the last 10 years alone, the changes have been astronomical. And I just can't imagine what we're going to see in another decade.
As we've been talking about in the different technologies throughout this presentation already, you in your own everyday use, you're using some of the technology that we do. You're using the smartphones to navigate to your friend's house. You're already using the GPS that we talked about. You have it on your watch, your wearable watches, that kind of stuff. All have the GPS satellites hooked up to them as well. Depending on the part of the country you're in, you might have that autonomous tractor kind of you running your farming and all of that kind of stuff, right? All of that stuff is using GPS. The same GPS we use to do our surveying and data collection, you're using that same technology to drive to your friend's house. So it again, where's this technology going to move to in the next 10 or 15 years as well? It should be interesting. But some of the other technologies we have is I'll let Linda talk about kind of the drone technology. This is one of her passions as well. So, Linda.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, speaking of technology, it's everywhere, and you'll see that trend as we continue through our presentation here. So how many of you have played with drones? I mean, surely somebody's probably gotten the little guy in their Christmas stocking, Christmas morning, you open it up and it's flying around your living room. That's, bigger scale. That's what we're doing as land surveyors out in the field. We're working with obviously commercialized equipment that's highly technical, but really a tremendous impact to our business as land surveyors. And we're able to get out and cover much more ground. We're able to collect more data and in a safer manner. Think about other things like a depth finder on a fishing boat. If any of you are fishermen out there, that's one of those things that's really, really a benefit. Really cool things, as you can see on this slide here, there's Spot the Robot Dog, collecting information alongside those of us that are land surveyors in the field, helping us do our job every day. And think of it this way, technology is absolutely evolving every day, as we alluded to. you all have the opportunity to be a part of that. What technology could you maybe help develop next? Like I said in the beginning, I can't wait to see what's going on in 20 years, and you all could be a part of that.
You know, Linda, but you mentioned Spot the robotic dog, and it just made me think. We've been using robotics for 2 decades, going on 3 decades now in our equipment, and it's just really exploding right now with robotic dog. And I'm not sure what they call it, but there's a robotic box on wheels that does mobilize data collection. The technology changes are just amazing. Exciting times.
Yeah, and on those robotic dogs is the LiDAR and the mobile LiDAR sensing type stuff. And so whether it's a car driving with the mobile LiDAR, or the dog with a 3D scanner, or the slide presentation a couple things back where Ben's wearing it on his chest, right? All of those are 3D mobile scanners. And Tim, what do you guys kind of do with your 3D mobile scanning?
Did you say mobile LiDAR? I think I heard.
That's right.
The best way to describe mobile LiDAR is think of Google Earth and think of your street side view. Surveyors use the exact same technology that provides a higher level of accuracy. So driving down the road at 40 miles an hour, as you can see in the picture there, we're collecting survey grade data that engineers and designers are using, and municipalities are using to assess pavement conditions. We are collecting the amount of data now in record time and providing that information to the public at a huge cost savings, for the public entities, but also it's just the amount of data we're able to collect is amazing. And that's just one instance. LiDAR, when we say LiDAR, and Trent, remind me, the acronym LiDAR stands for?
Light detection and ranging.
Light detection and ranging. I always struggle with that. There's so many acronyms out there.
That's right. This
is the same technology that they're using in cars right now for accident prevention. When you hear the little beeps when your car gets too close to the right side or the left side, that's all LiDAR. And we've got terrestrial units, as you see up in the left corner, that we scan bridges with, we scan industrial equipment, and it literally just gives you a 3D visual image electronically. They call it point clouds, probably a little too deep for what we're talking today, but it's just amazing the amount of data that can be collected and then utilized by designers to get precise locations.
But Tim, what else can LiDAR data be used for? Do we have any gamers in the room? For real. I mean, LiDAR data is behind a lot of the gaming environments that many of you may be using today, just for recreation. And so there's so many uses and so many applications for this incredible technology.
Virtual reality, golf, racing, motocross. It all comes from the same technology.
Yep. Every video game you play is pretty much been based on mobile LiDAR scanning of some sort. So yep, it's fantastic.
The opportunities are endless and it's exciting stuff.
Again, right? Where's this technology going to lead us in another 10 years, right? I mean, this technology has been around for, probably close to 25 years already. And it's just gotten, more and more in depth in the amount of data that we can collect. I mean, in one of these pictures, you might see billions and billions of points that were collected in just a matter of, minutes, pretty much. So exciting times. Again, it's just kind of what we keep talking about. But so as we've been talking about kind of all the high tech technology that is coming forward over the evolution of the profession, we go back to kind of the original part of surveying and originally why it was started, and just having to know the locations of your boundary, and as surveyors we're tasked with protecting your parents' largest asset, or some of your assets in the future that you're going to rely on a surveyor. And some of the biggest assets you might ever own in your life is your boundary. And so if without having surveyors understand the kind of the research and the history of how that parcel was created throughout the years, running around with your smartphone, getting a general location of your boundary is one thing, but hiring a land surveyor to really define those boundaries and understand where you are, those ownership lines, is what surveying profession is all about. And so I just think it's enjoyable. This side is where we start to run into the history things, and we start to research the records. We get to go to the courthouses, we go to the recorder's office and start going through the vaults of all those recorded deeds. And if you enjoy history, this is where the boundary surveying really will appeal to you, because it's one of the most funnest parts of kind of going through the profession, is all of that research. And so I enjoy it. I know Tim and Linda both enjoyed the history side of things, but and then kind of leading from there, I'll let Linda talk about kind of some of the field collection side of things, what we do on the field side.
Absolutely. And so that's a good lead in, Trent, from what you're talking about with boundary surveying. It's absolutely critical to know where your property boundaries are anytime you're going to make any kind of a change. So for instance, if you want to build a new home, or maybe a company wants to come in and build a new business, it's crucial to know where the boundary is, because you want to make sure that you're building that, or you're making that investment and building it in the correct place. Also, if you're going to be building some new infrastructure or a new business, perhaps, it's very important that we map the existing conditions where that building or house or whatever will be placed, so that it's structural integrity is good. We have an understanding of the site and all of the dynamics about it. So when the engineers go in and design this new asset, if you will, they have really good foundational data to work with. So one of the big jobs or roles of a professional land surveyor is to essentially map and define the earth or the site where this, inside the boundaries that we've already talked about, that we've defined. Now we want to go onto the site and actually really understand and define the nature of that site. What's maybe existing, like sidewalks, streets, maybe fields if we're looking at agricultural applications. So we're really going out and just collecting a lot of very precise data about that land and the features on the land. And we have, again, the technology helps us to look at these things in 3 dimensions. We're collecting 3-dimensional data so that we can really understand what's going on. We want to make sure the water is running the right way and it moves away from what we're building, or we want to know if it's not going to. And then we can provide all of this very accurate information to the engineers, architects, the designers, so that when they're designing these facilities, those assets are being protected.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
of course,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. And outside of that, once we have all of that information and the engineers and designers have that fantastic new feature designed and ready to build, then we roll into construction. And that's where I'll let Tim talk about what happens once we're ready to do the opposite. We're not looking at existing conditions. Now we're going to make something new come out of that site. Tim?
Yeah, and these last few slides we've been looking at, they're absolutely some of the historical and core services that professional land surveyors provide. We skipped right by the design phase with the engineers and the architects, maybe intentionally, because the surveyors collect the data. We determine where the boundary lines are. We let the engineers and architects know what the limits that they have to build on, and what the obstacles and all the features are, as Linda was talking about. And then the designers do their work. And then finally, it comes back to us once again for construction. And there are just all aspects of construction that surveyors are involved with. Anywhere from, well, I shouldn't say that, because just in the technology is not only advanced for surveyors, but it's advanced for construction now. We said before, GPS is everywhere. GPS is in the machine work, not only in agriculture, but in construction work. So in years past, surveyors put tons of wood stakes in the ground. We still put some, but a lot less, because the machines that the contractors use, the excavator use, all have GPS in them and tells them exactly where to put it. So more of our work is the precision work. You see from some of the photos, and some new equipment, some of the more traditional equipment that allows us to precisely tell contractors where to put things. And that's probably the big difference from yesterday to today. As recent as 10 years ago, we would do a lot of what we call rough staking to tell them about where to put things. They can figure that out on their own now. Our work is now more precise when it comes to building buildings. When you see the skyscrapers in the cities, there's just an absolute, very extensive surveying work that goes into that on each floor, telling the contractors where to put the lines. and where to put the columns so that everything is square and fits together. And then, of course, there's infrastructure, underground sewers, streets. We do a little bit of everything. And it's just kind of, for surveyors, it's the variety. I talk to a lot of people that just love the variety. They're on the front end of things, determining where the boundary lines are. They're in the middle part, on the designer part, collecting the data to aid the engineers and architects. And then they're on the tail end with the construction, assisting the contractors, showing them where to put it in the ground. So in this profession, you get to see it all.
Perfect. Great points. And, really kind of shows you what you can do as a career land surveyor throughout your profession, and kind of the advancements that you can kind of take with each step of the way. So of course, everybody wants to know the number one question, right? What can I expect to kind of make in this career when it comes to a salary? And so it all depends on where you are regionally within the country, but on average, surveyors and technicians, could require anywhere between a 2-year or a 4-year degree. And your technicians, we're kind of looking at somewhere between, starting pay $40,000 to $50,000, maybe, depending on the part of the country you live in. And of course, a professional land surveyor, once you've obtained that professional license, maybe in your state required you to go through and get a bachelor's degree, you could be looking at well over $100,000, within years within getting the profession. And so it is very lucrative profession. It's been done me very well throughout my career. I've enjoyed all the aspects of what I've been able to do. And so I think from a monetary standpoint, you would definitely be very beneficial to at least look into a career in surveying if it's something that we've interested you with today.
Yeah, I would add to that and just say
Absolutely.
that surveyors have the best of both worlds. They have work that's truly enjoyable, challenging. If you like working outside in the elements, if you like working computers, if you're a gamer, you like the technology, it has all those different aspects and different opportunities for career advancement. And on top of that, it's a very well-paying job as well.
How about you, Linda? Any kind of closing remarks there?
Absolutely. Land surveying has been a tremendous profession for me. The opportunities that I've been afforded, the experiences I've had, I've worked so many different environments. I've worked a mile underground surveying. I've worked, up in the upper ranges of topography and mountains, and research just incredible things in history, and gotten to use incredible technology to do it all. It's just, for me, it's a culmination of all of the worlds of all of the things I enjoy. And so it's been a very rewarding profession for me.
Yeah, me as well. So if you, after this presentation, if you have questions, there was a couple of QR codes at the beginning. You can either reach out to go to the website called beasurveyor.com. That'll put you in contact with either our National Association of Land Surveyors, or it'll also provide you links to your particular state association as well. And we encourage you to reach out with any questions, do some research, and please feel free to find any one of us, Tim, Linda, or myself, or someone locally within your state, and we will definitely provide you any information and help you kind of get started in a career as land surveying. So enjoy your day, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for your time. We appreciate you listening to us here.